and I've got I've got this Honda image. I've got a draw.
Oh, that's a funny looking thing. What's that?
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like they're having fun though. Whatever.
Oh yeah. I mean, I
So,
can see the drivers. I can see the drivers' grins from here.
yeah, that's what I like about it. So, I'm sure your Honda's going to become part of the continuous car series and continuous car book.
Da, 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 da.
So I'm going to draw it, and then in the meantime, you can kind of introduce yourself and explain how you
grief.
and how you work in the automotive industry.
Oh, grief. Well, I was just thinking that when we did actually meet, shall I start with my background first? And people that are watching that know me are going to be really bored because they've heard this all a million times. But, I mean, to cut a long story, not quite as long, basically I grew up on a farm, knew I didn't want to be a farmer, but I was reasonable at computers. So I then went to college and then university and did business and IT. But the main thing I learned is I didn't want to work in an office. So I ended up back on the farm, but with an IT degree, thinking, hang on, this hasn't worked either. And then I live about 5 minutes away from Goodwood Motor Circuit, and I always used to pop up there in an evening or whatever and go and, in an evening, during the weekend, I used to go out for a motorbike ride, pop up there, thought, my mate Dan's already come on. Oh, I'm not sure you told me this story before. I'm going to get this from a few of my mates. Popped up there and thought, this looks mega. This looks like a fun place to work. So I went in the office up there, got a part-time job with an events company up there called Mithril Racing, which I pretty much owe everything to because starting to work for them part-time, I was working part-time for there, but with people who were also part-time there, but part-time other places. So that kind of opened the door into the other stuff that I do now, which is I do a lot of stuff with Toyota and Lexus, which is where I met you at Silverstone doing a Lexus job. I also do some chauffeuring stuff for Rolls-Royce. I work for a mate of mine at his rally school. We teach strangers how to go sideways at 80 miles an hour in a field on a Saturday morning in rage buggies. And what else do I do? I work on the skid pan up at Goodwood and teach off-roading up there. Grief, just loads and loads and loads of stuff. But one day a week, I'm still out in my van delivering potatoes, which is kind of a hang-up from the old farming days. So there was a couple of years ago, I think I was, I think on the Sunday or the Monday after the revival, I was chauffeuring the King of Sweden in a £400,000 Rolls Royce, and then the following day I was delivering potatoes in shorts and t-shirt in my rusty transit van. But I wouldn't want to do either every day, but I mean, it's nice to have a bit of variety for sure.
Yeah. I mean, so we met at Silverstone where I was, and there's quite a good story. I'm sure you'll tell it better than me. So
go on.
I can't remember what was I. Is it a Ferrari I was drawing?
Oh, is this the one? Yeah, is this the one with? I had actually thought of this the other day, but I had forgotten about it. This was brilliant. I think I'm going to say it was a black Ferrari with like green. Is this the story you're going to tell? It had green splashes coming out of it in the background to kind of make it look, trying to kind of fill the background out. And we got chatted. We chatted, and then I think I'd wandered off to go and have a look around the show, and then I'd come back again, and then we were chatting some more. And you obviously saw that I had a Lexus top on, and I was there with the LFA, which is absolutely awesome. But yeah, more about that another day. And you'd asked me. You saw obviously I had a Lexus top on. You were like, "Oh, how's the LFA?" And then obviously we got talking about the LFA, and I looked down and I noticed that the Ferrari that you were painting had a green brake caliper. And I looked at the picture that you were working off, and it didn't have a green brake caliper. And obviously I didn't really know you that well at that point, so I didn't want to say too much. And I was like, why have you put a green brake caliper on there? Because knowing that Ferraris don't normally, I think it's normally Lamborghinis or something that come with green brake calipers. And I was like, what? You went, yeah, look, because it's on the grid. And I was like, no, I don't think you have. And then you looked a bit closer and you went, I've dropped a bit of green paint on the picture, right where the caliper would be, and then you'd kind of incorporate it into your giant artwork as a green paint caliper. So you'd effectively doctored your own picture, the one you were working off, and then and then incorporated that to some giant artwork, which I'm assuming it's still on there. You kind of work with it.
I can't remember whether we went with it or changed it. I think I kind of left it. Went, yeah, it's fine.
I think you were in the final stages. I don't think there was a lot more that you could have done.
Yeah. So that's how we met. Was pretty much was I'd managed. Not ruin, but I'd managed to change my own picture by splashing paint on the image.
Yeah.
That I was going to be drawing. So.
Yeah, but you kind of bespoked it. You made it your own.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is what a true artist should do, to be fair.
And in that time, there we are. There is.
He's done it already.
There is the outline, one continuous line of the whole image done. There we are.
That's cool, man. You've even got a bit of the carousel in there as well.
Got to put the carousel in. Yeah,
yeah, of course.
Yeah. So in terms of your events, what's been the kind of the highlight for what you've done? What's some of the cool stuff that you've done over the years?
Grief! Now you're putting me on the spot. I've got to try and think of something cool now. I mean, to be honest, the day when I met you was quite a cool story. So I took the Lexus LFA, which obviously doesn't just get left anywhere. It's very safely tucked up at Lexus. That gets taken out to events in a covered trailer. So I'd drawn the perfect straw to go and take that up to Silverstone for, was it a Supercar Sunday or something?
Yeah, it was a British GT, yeah.
British GT, that's it. And then it was a Supercar Sunday thing. And then everyone with supercars were also bringing the supercars along as well. So I've took it up there in the trailer. And as you go into Silverstone, you go over the first bridge, because obviously when you first get there, there's the two big car parks for all the fans and stuff before you get to the main gate. Then they let me in the main gate, but they'd only let me over the first bridge because they said only supercars are allowed over the second bridge. So they said you go over the first bridge and there's a car park on the right where you can unload, and then you'll have to bring the car in. So I was like, yeah, no, that's not a problem. So swung in the car park, unloaded the car, shut all the trailer down, then joined the queue of supercars that were all going driving the Lexus LFA with both pavements on the left and right, absolutely jam-packed with people all walking into Silverstone to go and see the Supercar Sunday, but also to go and see the race and whatever. And they're all taking pictures of me driving the Lexus LFA. Of course, I felt like an absolute rock star, and I'm like, yes, hi, yeah, honestly, this is my car, yes, hello. So yeah, that was certainly not a bad day at the office for sure. Thinking umpteen hundred people think I've got a Lexus LFA. I mean, the people that are in the know recognise the kind of number plate on it and realise it's actually the press car. But yeah, that is a mega bit of kit, man. Really, really nice bit of kit. So yeah, that was quite a good day.
But you were having a good day here as well.
A good day. Oh yeah, well that wasn't work. That was just take my little Honda out for a little thrash around the Nurburgring, and then come back again. But yeah, that was a good crack. Yeah, I've had that a few years now. It's engine, gearbox, clutch, everything is all still original on it. It's other than some suspension because it was floating around and some wheels because my mate was selling them for cheap. It's pretty much as it came out. I found it was a one lady owner from new. It was abandoned around the back of some garages actually when I got it. It was I was working on my auntie's horsey farm. This is another story that I've told a million times. I was working on my aunt's horse farm. And when we first started down there, we could have done with like a tractor or a quad bike or something to get around the fields on, but nobody had any money. So I found down there, just for some reason, there was like a little Peugeot 106 1 litre petrol thing that was abandoned down there with like stinging nettles all around it and whatever. So I managed to dig it out, gave it a good service, got the thing going again. And used that for about a year, 18 months before it kind of died. I'm going to use the term died because I don't want to say that I killed it. There may have been a bit of jumping going on and some handbrake turns in the fields and whatever, but basically it kind of fell apart. So one of the girls there said, my old car's abandoned around the back of the garages. Do you want to come and have a look? And it was sure enough. It was sat there, flat tyres, flat battery, covered in leaves, moss. Honestly, it looked an absolute state. I thought inside was all going to be mouldy and stuff, but it wasn't. yeah, dug it out, pumped the tyres up, pulled the dipstick out first before I tried to fire it over and make sure it had some oil in, because I thought that'd be the end of that. And obviously, being a Honda, put a jump pack on it. It cranked over about 4 or 5 times and it fired straight up. And I don't think it had been started for about 3 or 4 years. So, good old Honda. So yeah, fired it up, drove it up and down the road. First time I touched the brakes, all the calipers seized on, so there was like smoke billowing out the calipers. I drove up and down the road trying to kind of pump the brakes with my left foot, trying to free them up a bit, and yeah, whizzed up and down the road. Got the calipers kind of a bit more freed off. Got it back, and I said, yeah, I mean, it works. Electric windows work, electric sunroof worked, everything worked. So gave him not a lot for it. I think scrap money or something. Gave him some cash, and then drove it down the farm. By the time I'd got it to the farm, I realised actually I was going to keep it for myself. It went like an absolute rocket. I didn't realise at the time it was the most powerful Honda Civic in the country. Sorry, not in the country, in the UK of that model. It was only a 1.6, but it's 160 horsepower. Everyone obviously knows what the VTEC is now. I didn't know anything about Hondas at the time, and I thought it was a bit pokey. Yeah, got it to the farm. Used it around the farm for a week, made sure it all worked, and I thought actually I'm going to keep this. I took it for an MOT, and it failed on 4 sticky calipers, and I think 2 side light bulbs or something like that. So stripped the calipers down, freed it all off, changed the side light bulbs, and the following year took it to the Nurburgring, and I still use it every day. I absolutely love it to bits.
So when it comes to like the Goodwood driver and stuff, so is that you're driving for the Revival and the Defensive Speed, and you're chauffeuring people in and out?
Yeah, so when it comes to Goodwood, I've got a few different hats at Goodwood. So during the year when it's not the big events, I'm working for the driving team out there, not on the track because I'm not that skilled or sensible, but I work on the off-road instruction and the skid pan. So I'm teaching like drifting and stunt driving and stuff, but all at like 15, 20 miles an hour. But it is great fun, and you do learn a lot. And then when the events come along, sometimes I'm working for Goodwood, chauffeuring some people around. Sometimes I'm working off-site for another company doing the Rolls-Royce chauffeuring, which is technically nothing to do with Goodwood, but obviously at Goodwood. So I'm doing some Rolls-Royce chauffeuring. And then also for the horse racing events, I'm working for a different department at Goodwood, chauffeuring around the jockeys and some of the important people. To the horse racing, and then back to get changed for prize giving and that sort of stuff. So yeah, if I'm holding a steering wheel, I'm happy, even if it's my Spud van. I mean, steering wheel holder professional. That's me.
Yeah, it's good, man. So in terms of like people you've chauffeured around and whatnot, other some good names you got.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get in trouble by dropping any names. I'm just trying to think who I've had in the car now. We did yeah, no, they won't actually, because Goodwood themselves put this picture up on their social media channel. So we done an event last year. It was like a little private off-roady event, and it was somebody's birthday, I think, but because they were a big like music producer, and part of their kind of group of friends was is it Fiona Bruce from the News?
Yeah.
Damon Hill, who's absolutely lovely. I mean, they're all lovely. Damon Hill, Fiona Bruce, Abby Clancy, and Peter Crouch.
Oh, pretty cool.
They were hilarious. Adrian Newey. Who else was there? I can't remember. There was a bunch of people. They were the kind of standout kind of celebrity guys. But yeah, one of the Land Rovers. I mean, we use Series 2 Land Rovers for the off-road experience. So you're always going to get. They always work. We never break down. But the same with any old cars. Every now and again, they need some light fettling, shall we say? And we were in the middle of the woods, and at one point we got the bonnet up. I think it's me, Adrian Newey, and Damon Hill trying to work out what's wrong with the engine. So we got our heads under the bonnet. Peter Crouch is cranking it over, and Abby Clancy's filming it all, laughing her head off. I mean, that's not a bad day at the office. And then you kind of come, but because nobody was there as a celebrity, so everyone was just there as like kind of normal people. So everyone was like, you get home and you're like, did that happen? Because everyone was just being normal. No one was stopping to sign autographs or do anything silly. Yeah. But yeah, everyone was just being super cool and super nice. Yeah, and everyone was really lovely. And obviously we're all on our best behaviour. Do you know what I mean? We're not trying to like hamper them for like selfies and autographs and stuff, which would be weird anyway, working on an event. So I'd never do that. But yeah, do you know what I mean? Everyone was just super nice. What about you? You must have had some interesting chats at circuits.
Yeah, I've done a few. Yeah, I mean, so did the one show with Chris Evans. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that was like, yeah, we just had chat, like we just chatted cars, and yeah, we kind of forgot.
Well, you were painting on the one show.
Yeah.
Oh, mega.
Yeah. So yeah, I was painting outside, so I wasn't allowed in the studio.
Yeah.
I could get paint anywhere, so I was painting outside. And yeah, so he was really nice because he came over and chatted and yeah, we just talked for an hour or so whilst I was painting, and then when the show came on later, he then relayed all of that information back to like the viewers, which was really cool. And then what else? I was painting with Lewis Hamilton, Jensen Button. I've done stuff out in like the Middle East. I've done like the Dubai Royal Family. That was quite fun.
Oh wow. Petrol Pedal I watched on YouTube. You drew a picture of his Mini.
Yeah, I've done a couple with Petrol Pedal. I've actually got another one of his to do. So
okay.
Whether we have another one, I'll have to ask him. I've got another one of his cars that he wants.
Okay.
So
yeah, he seems like a really nice bloke. Oh, we haven't met yet, but I actually did a video for him for his YouTube channel. He about 2-3 weeks into lockdown, obviously all the car YouTubers are struggling to do car content because they weren't allowed to go out and drive. So he had the genius idea of saying to all his subscribers, you go out on your driveway with a camera and film your car, do a car review on it, send it to me, and I'll edit it if it needs it, and I'll put it on the channel. So I did a car review on the car that you're drawing. Made it half decent. I mean, spent a bit of time in the edit. I've done. I mean, I'm learning editing. I'm getting a bit better at it. And then I overlaid a bit of footage. I mean, a few pictures, possibly even a picture you've got there. I think I'll put in the video some footage of it going around the Goodwood racetrack, Nurburgring, some other pictures, and told a bit.
So going back to this trip with Spa and Nurburgring, which track did you enjoy the most?
Spa, because it's shorter, and then I could actually learn it. So I've probably done a handful of like driven laps around the Nurburgring, maybe like 10, maybe not even that. And then, but I've been a passenger for quite a few laps. I haven't got loads of money to go and do a million laps around the Nurburgring, so I enjoy it anyway, but I make myself, no, I don't make myself enjoy it. I enjoy being a passenger in other people's cars. And just experiencing the ring, but also different cars and just jumping in with other people. So I'm quite happy to drive or be driven, especially around somewhere like the Nurburgring. Yeah, it's mega fun. But Spa is obviously like Nurburgring is like 20 Ks, 8 to 13 miles. That's really bad. I don't know that. And yeah, 12. I'm going to say 12.8 miles. I've got in my head. And Spa is like 4.8 miles. So it probably takes you an hour, half hour to an hour to kind of learn it, start learning it well. And yeah, it's brilliant. It's all up, and it's a little bit like the Nurburgring, and it's kind of up and down and through the woods and stuff, but just acres and acres of tarmac, loads of big runoff in most places. And yeah, just to be going around there where obviously some real legends have driven around in my little rusty Honda was pretty cool. It was pouring with rain as well, which I almost prefer doing track days in the rain because it kind of levels the playing field a little bit. You lower the grip levels, and it then doesn't matter if you've got like 1,000 horsepower and some super duper car. It does come down to this phrase. I'm not milking a cat. This is actually me trying to do a tiptoe around on the steering wheel. So yeah, you just feel it through. Just feel yourself around a bit more. and also you don't wear out your tyres so much and use quite so much fuel. So it's another money saving tip as well.
Go to track days when it's raining. Therefore,
yeah, to be fair, I'd much rather do a track day in the rain. It kind of lowers the speed a little bit, and it doesn't matter quite so much that I'm probably a couple of hundred horsepower down on most other people that are there. So, do you know what I mean? It is what it is. That's the car that I've got, and that's what I enjoy driving around in. It's I kind of do everything car as well. Other people can afford to have a track car. I can't, so I've just got. I mean, my rusty old Honda, which does everything. I think on that trip, we did the Nurburgring on the Monday, I did Spa on the Tuesday, and I took my kids to school in it on the Wednesday. So it literally does everything. It's still got all this.
That's almost a Craig David song, that.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, I mean, it ticks all the boxes, and for a 24 years old, I think it is now, car with no engine, gearbox mods. Do you know what I mean? Original clutch, literally some better suspension because the original suspension was really, really floaty. And those wheels were going for the cheap. The original wheels were starting to get a bit scabby, and it did make it look quite old. So yeah, my mate was selling those wheels with the tyres, chucked them on, and it kind of transformed it overnight. I got rid of the orange indicators as well. Like 90s cars were, I think, the last ones to. I mean, a big fan of the orange indicator, a bright orange indicator, just makes something look really old. So they did a facelift version of this, I think, in about '98, which came with clear indicators on the back, and I think I got some aftermarket ones for the side. And again, that kind of like made it look a bit more like kind of modern as well. It still looks a bit retro, but it still looks a bit modern, and it's still not worth anything, but I love it. So.
And that's what counts. That's the main thing. So.
Yeah, I mean, I just love driving it. It's good on fuel. It's fun to drive. It's not particularly fast, but because it's not particularly fast, you feel like you can really give it the beans to get on. It's yeah, there's so many cars now. I mean, 500-600 horsepower. You can't use that. I mean, you put your foot down for like 2 seconds, you're doing triple figures. You've got to slow down again. I mean, this I can give it the full VTEC beans for ages before you're going about 60 miles an hour.
So there we are. There is your Honda on the Nurburgring as a complete car drawing.
Mega. Oh, that's cool, man. That's cool. And me and Dan doing some cheesy grins as well.
Yeah, there we are.
Oh, that's sick, man. That's very, very good.
Hope you enjoyed. That is number 344 in the book.
344. Oh man, that's cool, man. My mate Dan's going V2. Little signature as well. Oh, proper job, man. Can I do? This may or may not work. Can I give you a fist pump? Can you fist pump the camera and I'll fist pump my camera at the same time? Yes, good stuff. That's what I would have done if I'd seen you at the event. So I would have given you a fist pump anyway, too.
Well, cheers, that buddy. Really, really, really enjoyed it, and I'll
put cool, man.
Online shortly.